Let's take a look at the details of what has been happening in Karnataka. Well, this morning, the Supreme Court ordered the Karnataka Speaker to meet 10 rebel Congress and JDS MLAs today and decide by midnight on their resignations. The Speaker had been delaying the meeting, saying that he needed time to make sure that everything was in order. But finally this evening, he had to, because the Supreme Court said he had to. However, after the meeting, he said he cannot work at lightning speed. So he hasn't taken a decision yet. The Supreme Court is going to hear the case again tomorrow. Now, if the resignations of these MLAs were accepted, then the government in Karnataka, which is a coalition of the Congress and the JDS, it would be in a minority. The rebels were the ones who had gone to court alleging that the Speaker had not accepted their resignation letters in order to save the state government so that they had more time to negotiate and regain their numbers. Maya Sharma joining us live with the very latest from Bangalore. So Maya, what happens now? Because the Supreme Court had given the Speaker a deadline. He's clearly not adhering to it. So I guess more fireworks tomorrow.
We are right here at the Vidhan Saudha, and that meeting took place between 6 and 7 in the Speaker's office in the building just behind me. He has said, the Speaker Ramesh Kumar has said, I do not expect me to work at lightning speed. He has said earlier that there is a precedent where MLAs have waited for months in order to know whether their resignations have been accepted. He has said that there is no time frame for this. Of course, the Supreme Court getting involved, making sure that the MLAs met him at 6 p.m. would have accelerated things a little. But he also did say, why do they have to go to court to meet me? I'm right here in the Speaker's chamber. I've been asking them to come and meet me. But tomorrow is the session. The Karnataka legislature session actually starts here at the building behind me again, here in the Vidhan Saudha. The Congress has issued a whip to its MLAs, really, to ask them to saying that they have to be here. They really have to be here, otherwise they may face disqualification. There's talk about anti-defection law. So the Congress showing the stick now to those MLAs who are certainly not going to be here. We're hearing they're already heading back to Mumbai. So the Congress has tried the carrot approach by offering them ministries, getting all their ministers and the JDS ministers to resign, offering them berths if they do change their minds and take back their resignation. But the stick approach also going to be there for the MLAs who do not attend the session tomorrow, despite the Congress whip telling them to do so. So we're waiting for Ramesh Kumar's decision, as are all of the MLAs. When I asked him earlier today, would he give his decision today, he said he could not tell me that. It's really all happening here.
All right, Maya, thanks very much for that. In fact, the question really is what the larger BJP game plan actually is. Is Madhya Pradesh going to be next? We know that the Congress and the JDS have claimed that hundreds of crores have been spent by the BJP to bribe their MLAs, something the BJP is denying. They are saying this is the crudest use of money and muscle power. However, BJP insiders have a very different version about what the game plan actually is. My colleague Sanket has more.
As far as the BJP is concerned, nothing, absolutely nothing is unplanned. They plan each and everything. Now, what exactly is happening in the Bharatiya Janata Party? They may tell you that this is the magnetic charm of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that a lot of people are coming. But there is a method to this madness. This is the information that we have learned. Many opposition leaders, the BJP claims, are approaching the BJP after the 23rd of May, that is after that dramatic victory, that fascinating victory of Narendra Modi as well as Amit Shah. So they claim that a lot of people are approaching them and not the other way around. Now, the information that we are getting is that MP and MLA level inductions are only and only taking place when JP Nadda as well as Amit Shah sign off. That doesn't mean, so this clearly means that these are not decisions that are just being taken. It is being signed off by the two most powerful people in the organization, that is Amit Shah as well as JP Nadda. Now, the BJP is also cautious on Karnataka but very confident in Goa. Why do we say this? Because as far as the Karnataka MLAs are concerned, they're being flown around. They go to Mumbai, they go to the outskirts of Bengaluru. They're going everywhere, but they have not come and met JP Nadda as well as Amit Shah. Whereas the Goa MLAs, immediately after their merger, came to Delhi, met the entire top leadership. So you can see that there is a clear divide in the strategy as far as Goa and Karnataka is concerned. Now, sources are also saying that Congress rebel MLAs, they were the ones who approached the BJP state unit, and Yedurappa, we're talking about Karnataka, it is Mr. B.S. Yedurappa who's instrumental in the conversation with the MLA. Now, what does this mean? Is this a larger message that perhaps the BJP has a sort of a bittersweet relationship with Mr. B.S. Yedurappa. Trust may be a big factor because of which they're not taking it to the next level. Remember, Mr. B.S. Yedurappa was sacked from the party and then brought in. He's also approaching that limit of 75, which means if there are elections held next, then he is not going to contest, which means he will not be the chief minister. Are these the factors that are in play in the mind of JP Nadda as well as Amit Shah? Now, do remember that 4 TDP MPs who merged with the BJP says that they did it on their own will. But it will be interesting, it will be put to test, Sonia, by knowing what exactly is going to happen as far as all those criminal cases that were, or the CBI ED cases that were there against them. Will they continue? Because if they stop, then you know that this is politics.
All right, Sanket, they're giving us a sense into what the BJP's thinking is into all of this. Well, joining us tonight to talk about whether the BJP is actually taken a step closer to a Congress Mukt Bharat, we have Mr. Pratap Singh Rane, former Chief Minister of Goa and senior Congress leader and legislator joining us from Goa. Mr. Nasir Hussain of the JDS joining us from Bangalore. Mr. Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. Javed Ansari, senior journalist is with us. Mr. Vineet Goenka, supporter of the BJP joining us. And Shugato Srinivasaraju, senior journalist from Bangalore, also with us tonight. Mr. Rane, if I could ask you first, were you expecting this kind of a mass exodus of Congress legislators from Goa?
No, it was just a surprise. It was a surprise to us, all of us. All of a sudden they have decided, 10 MLAs, to change over to support BJP.
And why did that happen, Mr.
Goa
Rane?
being a small slate, well, I wish you had questioned that to those MLAs, because I don't know, I mean, something must have been promised to them. I am not aware.
But Mr. Rane, do you think that the fact that your party has a leadership vacuum at the centre is contributing to the problem? It's precipitating the crisis, the morale is low, and that legislators essentially feel that they're better off with the BJP?
No, absolutely not. Goa always had its own MLAs, and we have been the last territory that has joined the Indian Union after the Portuguese were driven out in 1961, and since then Goa has become a state, and Goans are very peace-loving people. I'm really proud to say that we have never had any skirmishes and things like that, and unfortunately this has been happening many times amongst our legislators. Not only this present batch, but earlier also this has happened. So the anti-defection law needs to be suitably amended. Once you are elected, you are not supposed to change your party. You get elected on a certain ideology.
Mr. Rane, there are a couple of things, sir. One is the fact that at the centre you don't have a Congress president at the moment. Surely that is creating a huge political vacuum. Would you say that that is not contributing to the crisis? Isn't it contributing to the crisis in the party?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It is wrong to say that the party exists at the state level, and although we may not have a head, but we have got elected on a certain ideology. Ours is a secular party.
Sure, but Mr. Rane,
Congress
you said the party exists at the state level, sir, and if it does exist at the state level, was the state leadership then sleeping when this operation by the BJP happened? Because it is not something that would have happened in 24 hours. This would have taken some time.
No, unfortunately, the leadership at the center, when our party president resigned, along with him, the president of the local party also resigned. Here, a local unit of the Congress party. But that definitely doesn't affect anybody. We have been elected by the people, and we have promised them certain promises that we would deliver, and it would be letting them down. People of the constituencies from where these people have been elected. The excuse would be that we have changed the party for the sake of development, but that is not so. It is somehow, I think it's time that the anti-defection law is amended. Otherwise, such mass defections could take place.
Well, Mr. Rane, thank you for speaking to us on NDTV this evening. You say that you don't think that the leadership vacuum affected the Congress there in the state in any way. I don't know if everyone in your party would agree with that, but clearly it only exemplifies the kind of crisis the Congress is facing at the moment. Let me take this debate to the panel now. And Sanjay Hegde, just turning back to Karnataka and on an issue of law, the Supreme Court had said that the Speaker had to decide in Karnataka on the resignation of the MLAs by midnight tonight. It is clear the Speaker has not done that. You have an assembly session that starts in Karnataka tomorrow. The Congress has issued a whip, which actually means that if Mr. Kumaraswamy was to ask for a trust vote, that would force the MLAs, would it not, to vote with the government. Otherwise, they could face disqualification. But on the other hand, you have a Supreme Court hearing on this tomorrow, which may come down on the Speaker for not listening to them. So what's going to happen?
Well, I'm not sure that the Supreme Court will come down on the Speaker, because you must be aware that the Supreme Court order is very carefully worded. It is a request to the Speaker to meet the MLAs, and there is a line which says that he will decide by the end of the day. Now, there is a constitutional principle out there. The court is supreme within the judicial field. Within the legislative field, it is the Speaker who speaks for the legislature. Normally, courts do not get into the working of the legislature. They do not micromanage the legislature, and they cannot do that. The settled principle of law from way back in the 1800s, in a case called Bradlaugh versus Gossett, is that the court will not order the Speaker to do X or Y within the assembly. This case of Bradlaugh versus Gossett was followed later in the 1960s in India in a case called Keshav Singh, where the facts were that the UP assembly sent somebody into jail for breach of legislative privilege. That man approached the court, got an order of stay. Thereupon the UP assembly told the court, how can you get into our matters, and it ordered the arrest of the judges and the lawyer concerned. There was a constitutional crisis. The president made a reference to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court thereafter gave an answer which basically reaffirmed the principle of hands off the legislature.
So then Mr. Hegde,
there is only one
if hypothetically
deviation.
Just one minute. Chief Minister seeks a trust vote tomorrow, then his government stays, doesn't it? They have to follow the whip, right? Or face disqualification.
Well, there also is an exercise in tautology there. If they do not obey the whip and vote against the motion, and the disqualification happens later, the government may still fall. But if, on the other hand, before the voting happens, they just get disqualified for having committed an act of disqualification, which incurs disqualification, then there will be different consequences. I will not go ahead to hazard on which way the game will turn tomorrow, either in the assembly or in the court. But the broad principle is this, that the court says hands off the legislature, and that is reciprocated by the legislatures. Okay. If that principle is breached tomorrow by the court, then that will be a new precedent, and then it may then be applicable to all legislatures and parliament in this country.
Well, let me ask Mr. Nasir Hussain of the JDS. Mr. Hussain, is there any plan to have a trust vote tomorrow? Why is there a whip?
It is to test the member of legislative assemblies, because we need to know, because it is a political party, and political party, it has the right to issue whip. The main question here is the Bharatiya Janata Party has been acting in such a way that it has been the experts, Mr. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi ji, they have been the expert of organizing horse trading. Organized horse trading, the Bharatiya Janata Party, and especially Mr. Amit Shah is an expert. It is not only here in Karnataka, it has been doing everywhere in India, throughout India. This is a serious matter of concern for all the people who believe in the democratic values. Here, there is a 10th Amendment, anti-defection law is there. An environment is created in such a way that the defection is, it has to be justified, it has to be quick, and I do not have any example wherein the Speaker has accepted the resignation instantly. There is a procedure, there is a rule of law, and being a Karnataka, I am proud. I feel that there is a man with integrity who is the Speaker, who does not have any obligations to any political party. He is not going to succumb to power. Here we have seen the MLAs were supposed to reach the Speaker before 6 o'clock, but they did not reach. They reached at 6:04. Even then the Speaker has taken them. Now he has sought time just to read out the explanations why they are leaving the political parties. Even then an atmosphere is such, I do not know why. Everyone is behind, they are desperate to see that the Bharatiya Janata Party is in power. I do not find reasons. Whereas this is against the democratic values.
Okay.
This is de-strengthening the democratic values.
Mr. Hussain.
They are supporting the detractors.
Okay, let's see what happens in Karnataka tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Javed Ansari, the bigger political question is that what we're asking, whether the BJP is actually sort of realizing that dream of a Congress Mukt Bharat the Prime Minister has been talking about for the last 5 years. Because you have Karnataka, you have Goa, where the Congress has suddenly, disappeared, and then next could be Madhya Pradesh. So is this a combination of the Congress's leadership problem at the moment on one hand, and the BJP's very aggressive poaching of their legislators on the other?
You're spot on. You've hit the nail on the head. It's a combination of all these factors. Look, people can live with defeats. What they cannot live with is hopelessness. And there is a huge sense of despair and hopelessness across the rank and file of the Congress party. They've taken a month of Sundays just to decide who will replace Rahul Gandhi as the president. I mean, there is no jewel which the Congress party has, which, they need to dig out from the pit. It has to come from within those handful of leaders. They need to decide and carry on. But the atmosphere in the Congress party is such that people are scared to come forward, to at least volunteer to shoulder the responsibility, and the rank and file feels there is a great sense of uncertainty. They don't know who that leadership will be. There is also this feeling, the way the Congress party is structured, that the Gandhis are the only people who can hold the party together, irrespective of who becomes the president. There is a fear that the party will dissipate. So even before they've reached the state, the party is withering away. Karnataka and also what is happening in Goa is also partly a result of this, because they don't see a future. People are not rebelling. Earlier they used to rebel. Now they're not rebelling. They're just quietly seeking greener pastures. And you can't blame the BJP for it. There is absolutely no denying that the BJP is taking advantage of it. But if you give your opponent a chance, he's obviously going to take a shot at you. You can't blame the BJP for it. I'd be surprised if in such a situation the BJP had not tried to take advantage of it.
But let me ask Vineet Goenka about that. That Mr. Goenka, keeping the Congress's leadership question on one side, the fact is that the BJP is aggressively poaching these MLAs, and the accusation is by the JDS, for instance, on record that 1,000 crores is being spent, they say, on purchasing these MLAs. Now, clearly, somebody is paying for these private jets that are going back and forth from Bangalore to Mumbai. Somebody is paying for the hotel stays, etc. So, I mean, is it that the ends justify the means? Is this how the BJP wants to come into power? You think state by state is sort of ruthlessly poaching MLAs this way?
No, I like one thing, Nidhi ji, they submit and you announce the verdict. They submitted that somebody has spent money and you have already declared that what they said is right. Do you or the person who is blamed has any kind of proof to spend what? So my request to you is, in all the, you said, is it fair to do it? When you say, is it fair to do it, that means you have accepted that.
It is a question, Mr. Goenka.
My suggestion is, the friend who is trying to blame Bharatiya Janata Party should, if it is a question, so let me answer it. It is very simple. They are not happy. Have you seen the last 1 year of Karnataka? What I am reminded, you ask any common man in Karnataka or India, what do you remind yourself about Karnataka? Chief Minister coming on camera, crying like a child and telling Congress and Siddaramaiah is not allowing him to function. Can you play that tape to the common man here? Please tell me, will that not demoralize the MLAs who are there? 2, you hear Chief Minister on news channels, your own news channel, instructing some policeman to shoot somebody. Is that a Chief Minister orders of police? You see Chief Minister most of the time outside India. When he is in Bangalore, he is in 5-star, not available in the office, not meeting anybody, promoting his son, his father, his nephew. He is not bothered about common man. He is not bothered about governance. Karnataka is facing challenge. You travel from airport to MG Road. It takes more time to travel to less time to travel to Delhi than how much time you take there. The pollution level is very high. Corruption is very, very high. Files are piling.
The people of
We never
Karnataka
discuss
can
all about
decide
that.
if they want to
The
continue
water
or
pollution,
not.
never
Does that
seen
mean the
that.
BJP should try and poach their MLAs as they are alleging?
Of course, they should decide. Who is saying BJP is deciding? Again, you are giving a judgment that BJP is deciding.
I am not giving
Has
any
BJP
judgment,
asked
Mr.
them to
Goenka.
resign?
I am telling you what the opposition is claiming. They are
They have
saying that
resigned,
their
madam, on
MLAs
your
are being
cameras.
poached.
So where is BJP in function? Where is BJP? They can claim
Who's
anything. They may
organizing
claim
the
Nidhi Rajan is
aircraft?
acting on their
Who's
behalf. Would you
organizing
agree
the
to that?
hotel stays
So
in
let us-
Bombay?
You have to answer that. You have to ask them. How would I know? I have not organized it, ma'am. I have checked with my accountant. I have not done it myself ever. We have to ask them. Yes, if there is involvement in somebody, then you can come out. You are asking a wrong person. Go and ask Rahul Gandhi. What is his people doing? Go and ask Sonia Gandhi. What are his people? She was 19-year president of Congress. Can't she ask her MLAs? Kya kar rahe ho? Where is she?
Mr. Hussain, you want to
Ask
come in before I
Siddaramaiah.
come to Mr.
Who is paying for
Srinivas
these
Raju?
people? They say they have been threatened.
Definitely. I would
Mr. Hussain?
No, Kumar Swamy has to answer.
Sir,
Why is people going away?
This is
I get pained when I see, many times.
Tell this, the people of
Asking the
Karnataka.
wrong person.
No, this is not for the first time. Since Mr. Kumar Swamy has become the Chief Minister of Karnataka, there were several attempts made, around 6 attempts which have failed. And one attempt, there was a tape which included Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa ji, and he was speaking to the Gurmitkal MLA's son, wherein it was recorded and the name of the speaker was also involved. And over it, the discussions in the parliament, in the assembly have also taken place. People of Karnataka know that constantly Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to poach the MLAs. I am telling it with authority. It is not new. Now the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders are acting. What was Mr. Santosh, the PA of Mr. Yediyurappa ji, doing? And why did he run away? Why did he run away from when the cameras of the media caught him? He ran away like a pickpocketer. Unfortunate. If at all there was no guilt by the BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, why was he found escorting the independent MLAs? These are the questions. These people know it very
Mr.
much clear.
Goenka,
It is
Mr.
very much
Goenka,
clear. And in Karnataka, we have a chief minister who is very much emotionally high. Today, he has not cried. He has not cried because the MLA has been poached. You can see how boldly he is.
Can I have a small democratic right to answer you, sir?
Okay. Mr. Goenka wants to answer you, Mr. Hussain, and then Shugata, sorry, I'll just come to you after that. Yes.
Mr. Nasir, we have seen Chief Minister functioning out of 5-star hotels. Who is paying the bill? Why is he not going to office? Also, please tell why he does not meet the MLAs.
Mr. Goenka, can I
And
just
then you
ask
blame
you
that
that is
MLAs were
Madhya
purchased.
Pradesh
That means those were
next?
correctable people.
Do you think Madhya Pradesh is next, Mr. Goenka?
Mr. Kumar Swamy
Is the
sleeping
BJP
in the
aggressively
villages.
trying to bring
Can
down
I
the
complete
government?
my
Of the
sentence?
farmers. Everyone knows
you
that
allowed
Kumail
Mr. Nasir to
person
complete the
is
sentence.
most
I'm sure
social
you're a very fair anchor to allow me to complete my sentence.
I know,
Mr.
but
Nasir,
there
I've
is a
never
speaker who
spoken
hasn't
between, sir.
spoken, Mr.
You're
Goenka.
a
So I'm
gentleman.
asking you a
You will
specific
allow me to
question.
speak, right?
That is the Madhya Pradesh government next? Is that being targeted by the BJP next?
How would I know that?
Do you think they
Because
are?
we never targeted Karnataka, we never targeted Goa. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi should know what are their people doing. Why are they not in touch with them?
Well, neither
Kumaraswamy
of them
should
holds
know.
a position in the Congress
What are their
anymore.
people doing?
So,
He does not know what is happening in Karnataka. He stays in 5-star. Who is paying his bills in that 5-star?
Shugato,
He is only bothered about his son's election. He is not bothered about common man in Karnataka. Have you ever travelled in Karnataka?
Shugato Srinivas Raju, are we
Everything
inching
in
closer to
dismay.
that Congress Mukt
Chief Minister does
Bharat?
not go to Chief Minister office.
I mean,
This is why
Karnataka is the
BJP
only
is
southern
reaching
state left apart from
No,
the
no, he's
union
going,
territory
he's
of
reaching out to the
Puducherry.
villagers.
Shugato,
Any
please could
there
we
is
let
no
Mr.
government in
Srinivas
India
Raju speak?
where
Thank
the
you.
Government is outreach
Shugato
to the
Srinivas
villages.
Raju.
There is no chief minister.
Yeah.
Nidhi,
It is Mr. Kumar.
Nidhi, on both sides there is a lot of rhetoric, BJP as well as the Congress. But looking at it dispassionately as a journalist, I think the coalition government in Karnataka has created a lot of bad optics right from day one. So there has been a lot of problem. And I don't know about Goa or Madhya Pradesh, but certainly in Karnataka, the rebel MLAs and the BJP Yadurappa camp, I wouldn't even sort of bring in the national BJP here, because I have my own doubts if the national BJP is instructing Yadurappa, because Yadurappa seems to be acting on his own, and I have my doubts if Yadurappa would is going to be favored by the national BJP. I mean, Sanket did explain about his age factor. He said he is going to reach 75. He's already crossed 75. So, and Karnataka BJP, I mean, the very important point is that the success of BJP in Karnataka predates Modi. And Yadurappa is not Modi and Shah's nominee here in Karnataka. I think they would want an election to happen here. They would want a new government. They expect to win, and they'll probably put in their own man in charge of Karnataka. I mean, I have a lot of doubts about how this whole operation is being conducted, because you're hearing nothing nothing from the national BJP here in Karnataka, while in Goa, the whole thing was very clear. In Madhya Pradesh, you hear a lot of noise, but in Karnataka, not a single person from the national unit of the BJP has spoken about the entire crisis. It's all locally, it's being locally managed. And the 6 attempts or 7 attempts that are being spoken about were all local attempts.
Interesting.
I have my doubts.
And that ties in with what Sanket, you're right, was saying earlier, that perhaps
Yes.
this is something that the national BJP may not want to pursue as much as Mr. Yadurappa does.
One other point,
We
Nidhi,
expect more fireworks tomorrow. I have to leave it there. Thank you to all of you for joining us on that important political story. Let's see how it plays out. Well,